Now let us dive into the another type of test called two independent sample t-test with unequal variance test. This test is incredibly useful to compare the means of two groups and determine whether there is a significant difference between them. But here the difference is unequal. The population variance are not same. Okay. So let's use a real world scenario from a retail industry to understand how this test works. Okay. Let's say, in the retail chain, they are considering introducing new pricing strategy for a particular product category to boost sales. Obviously, price is one of the important factor um, to attract the customer, isn't it? The price is cheaper if if you announce any sales or offer. Obviously, this you can see more sales in your shop, right? Compared to your competitor, the customers they go and check on the internet. So in this shop and that shop, which shop, the same product, same brand, same model. What is the price? The price is cheaper. Obviously, customers will go and buy. But on top, if they display any placard, flyer in front of the shop, showing that they have 20% discount, flat 15% discount, 25%, 30% discount. Obviously, customer will go and buy it from there. This is another marketing strategy to attract the customers, to pull the crowd to their shop. Okay. In this case, the retail chain wants to determine if the new pricing strategy results in a significant variance in the average purchase amounts of customers between two different store locations, store A and store. You have a store in north region of your city and south region of your city. You have two retail stores are there, and you change the prices. Okay. And after changing the prices, probably you reduce the price or little bit you increase. Do you want to compare, are there any positive impact in terms of increasing sales? Does reducing the price is any influence on boosting my sales? So you have randomly sample the sales happened on the same day for the last 3 days in store A and store B. You have sampled it. So in this case, we assume that the variances are unequal. Okay, the two populations are unequal. And let's conduct a two sample independent t-test to determine whether there is a statistically significant difference in the average purchase amounts between these two stores at a 95% confidence in level. If somebody says 95% confidence level, that means alpha equal to 0.05. So what are the steps? As usual, in store A and store B, you need to find out the mean. Look here, store A mean is 60.56 and store B mean is 73.33. So with this itself, you can say store B, the sale is good, right? The sale is good. So with this itself, you can say, but we need to statistically prove that. Let's not go by the sample mean itself. We need to statistically prove that. Okay. And here you can see the standard deviations, this one, and because the standard deviation may vary. 60.56, but the standard deviation is less here. The variance is not much. Whereas here the variance is, so here also the variance is less, right? Correct. In that case, this is good, right? Okay, the degrees of freedom we need to find out. So here the sample size is 39 and 39, 39. Okay. And T statistic. Okay. This is the formula. You get, if you plug in the value, you'll get negative 5.42. And now we need to find out the critical value. Let us jump into the Python. And this is called your Jupyter notebook. Okay. In this case, I'm going to say two independent sample unequal. Okay. In this case, unequal variance. This is the one. Yeah, the same thing. 120, 118, 115. So not that one. Okay, I think I have taken something else. Let me see. Yeah, that is different. This is different. Okay, let us see. The values may be different. And in this case, I'm going to run this test. minus t statistic comes with this value. Okay, let's say this t statistic value is, one second, where is that? 55.26 and 60.3. There is some value, unequal variance. Price industry. This is in a store locations. So in this case, yeah, that is the assumption we made, right? The assuming that unequal variances here. So let's, probably I will put these values here. Don't worry. Okay. And here all we need is the t statistic value and then the critical value or the p value. See, you don't have to look at the t statistic critical value also. Look at the p value. Is this p value is less than alpha or not? Please, guys, tell me. Is this p value is less than alpha or not? What is the p value here? What is the p value here? Yes, yes, you are correct. You are correct. Already 5 people answered it correctly. How about the rest? See whether it is correct or not, right? So you need to take initiative. The drive should come within you. No one should force you, right? The drive should come within you. That is what the enterprises, companies, they look for you. Okay. If if the customer is explaining and if you keep on, if you keep mum, they think, this employee is not willing to work in my project. Okay. They will say that, I need some other resources. So what is p value here? The p value is very, very small. Followed by this value, we can see that. Let me just check here. Both of them are okay. I think I've taken the same value, right? 120, 118. Yeah, that is the problem. I asked the people to put the correct value. They did not put it. Okay, fine. But in this case also, yeah, the same thing it shows. So 0, 0, right? So it is 0.0000. It is too less. The value is too less. What you need is, you need to, if you have a laptop, what you do is you can put these values. Okay, you can put these values here, and you can. So I will upload this PDF file. Don't worry, as a study material. Okay, and that I will upload it, and you can just plug in that value, copy paste it here, and then you conduct the test. And if the p value is less than alpha, you are going to reject the null hypothesis. Same thing, right? Same data. Then why the response is very not so impressive. Dhanraj, you are correct, right? Fatima, you are correct. Very good. Make mistake, right? At least the customers will think you are interested, right? You are active. If you are keeping yourself quiet, they'll think, no, this person is not at all active. This guy is not at all taking any initiative. Sorry. Okay. You please replace this guy because they are the Americans. They are the one, funding our project in India, right? They can say anything. Don't ever get. Got it? If the p value is simple, you don't have to do the p value. You don't have to compare the t statistical critical value. So since you are able to get the p value here, your life is very cool. In this case, the p value is less than alpha. We can reject the null hypothesis. So here, in this case, I already noted down, and the t statistical is minus 0.1, which is no, this is also wrong here. The same thing value is copied here. This guy is that did not copy it correctly. Okay, fine. So even in this case, so this is probably you can test it out. Okay, not much difference. Okay, only difference is with respect to the formula here. The formula also, when it comes to unequal variance, very simple, right? The equal variance only you need to find out the pooled standard deviation, but here that headache is not there. Simply, see here, up to this it is correct, negative 5.42. Only thing is, we need to find out, yeah, I think it is correct. Is much larger in magnitude than the t critical value. We can reject the null hypothesis. Larger in magnitude, okay, than the critical value 2.022. So what is the critical value here? Negative 2.0022, right? So obviously, yeah, it is not this value. This is your t value, right? T value is not less than this, correct? Not less than negative 2.022. Yes, correct, correct. Sorry, this is correct. Here he has given it correctly. The t value is minus 5.42. If the t value is less than 2.022 unit tested, or if the t value is greater than plus 2.022. In this case, this magnitude is larger, and it is larger magnitude compared to this one, right? So we can reject the null hypothesis. In this case, a magnitude is different way, but obviously this value is less than this one, right? Because this has lesser value, right? Let's say if your account balance is very, very less, that means you are nothing. Your debt, it is something like more the debt you have. Let's say this is your debt, right? And this is my debt. Whose debt is very high? This one, right? So hence this is less. In terms of the debt, I can say magnitude is larger. That means the debt is more. The debt is more. Debt is more, which means I'm poorer than you, something like that. Okay, this is less than this value. Hence we reject the null hypothesis. So this is correct only. But instead of breaking our head with this, simply go by the p-value. P-value is the one universally used. But there are customers, believe me, still that guys are using C statistic value. That is the reason why I'm explaining that. So in this case, we are going to reject the null hypothesis. And we are going, so what is the null hypothesis in this case? What is the null hypothesis? In this case, the null hypothesis is the average purchase amount in both store A and store B, right? Even after changing the pricing strategy, there is no significant difference. That is what your null hypothesis. Since we are rejecting the null hypothesis, we are going to conclude that there is a statistically different, right? The retail store 1 and retail store 2, after changing the pricing strategy, we can see a significant, there is a statistically different, right? The mean values are statistically different. So the p-value also here, it is close to 0. So it tells us there is a strong evidence against the null hypothesis. The p-value is very, very less. That means it is not favoring your null hypothesis. It is against your null hypothesis. Hence, we conclude that there is statistically significant difference in the average purchase amount between two stores at the 95% confidence interval. That's all. இதுல ஒண்ணுமே கிடையாது. கடைசியில இந்த ஒரு லைனை சேர்த்திக்கணும். என்ன லைனு? We conclude, you reject பண்ணிட்டாலே, we conclude that there is a statistically significant difference in the average purchase amounts between store A and store B at the 95% confidence interval, because the alpha value is 0.05, we are using it. That's all, guys. Not much difference here. Only the differences for these two tests, the equi and unequi test, is the